So many people these days are into intermittent fasting, and I personally no longer skip breakfast. And today I'm going to tell you why you might not want to skip breakfast as well, and why. I will tell you that I spent a lot of time researching this topic, and what prompted me to do so was the fact that I noticed that my blood sugar in the morning, when I wake up, is higher than when I eat. I was never in a pre-diabetic or diabetic state, but I'd say it was 99 or a little bit 97, 98, and then later on I would get anywhere between like 80 or 95. So I started researching what's going on in my body, and I literally researched the topic for about a couple years. I'm not kidding you, until I finally found the answer. And that I'm giving you this answer today. It's the answer that I actually paid a lot of money for, so I'm sharing it with you. And so I'll tell you that during when we wake up, our body experiences something that's called the Down syndrome, and this is something actually everybody experiences. It's when our cortisol levels are higher between 6 and 8 a.m. because they are preparing us for our day. Like they're giving us almost like a kickstart to the day. And usually cortisol peaks around this between the 6 and 8 a.m. and then it goes down. And at nighttime, it is our lowest, or it's supposed to be our lowest. And what happens is it also helps us release melatonin. So low cortisol, high melatonin, and high cortisol, high sugar, everybody. So what I noticed that my high sugar correlated to my higher stress level in the morning. And it is something that everybody goes through, especially people such as myself. Like in the morning, I don't have time for yoga, or I don't have time for meditation. I'm usually quite busy with kids and with have to do things. So I spike high sugar, because what happened is that cortisol level that is in my body and wants me to get up and moving and gets me going, spikes high, and it looks for fuel. And if I don't give my body fuel that it needs, which is glucose, because that's the preferred fuel that our body needs, then the cortisol will look for fuel for glucose somewhere else. So even if I had not had breakfast in the morning, my glucose would spike from the glycogen that was stored in the liver that my cortisol wanted to find in order to give me that boost of energy in the morning. So that was the reason why I no longer fasted in the morning. I did not want to spike my cortisol even higher. I wanted to, my goal was to make sure that my glucose as well does not go up high and low like in the roller coaster, but that it's more so like in the hula dance, and I made a video about it as well. But anyways, and what I also want to say, cortisol triggers epinephrine and non-epinephrine, other stress hormone, aldosterone. And I know that 90% of diseases in the body start from stress. So why stressing our body even more with not eating breakfast and spiking our cortisol even higher? Now, if you do want to still continue intermittent fasting because you will lose weight, and I did lose 4 pounds in 5 weeks of doing it, which for some people might not be a lot, but if I weighed 122 pounds and I lost 4 pounds, then I actually didn't want to lose weight when I started. I was doing intermittent fasting for different reasons. But if you are interested in doing intermittent fasting and losing weight, then you might want to consider eating breakfast, but actually skipping late dinner.